Secondly, the availability, or also how hardworking the supervisor is. So that's but I think that's where problems do arise. That's the problem do arise because you realize that it's very rare to find students who really get to defend after 3 years, especially here in Cameroon. But when you get out of this place, you realize that sometimes much more easier to do that.
What's the composition of your program, for instance, a PhD program?
Yes.
What is the composition of that program?
What do you do?
As a matter of fact, what you call a DOR is already in the doctorate degree cycle. Yes, the DOR has to be done in the old system because we now have the MLT, the new system now. But normally the DOR has to take 2 years, right? The classwork and the dissertation. And the PhD just has got to do with more of research work.
No classwork?
No classwork level PhD. What we do is just that we perhaps carry on research in collaboration with our supervisors. And sometimes some people do have the advantage. They've given scholarships to go and do some work abroad and come back. And some of us, we just do it here and
do it around.
Yeah, you were saying that someone can defend in 3 years if they are hardworking and depending on the supervisor. If the supervisor is equally hardworking. You were going to use another word, the availability.
Yes.
Is it that the supervisor should be? Does it depend on his hard work or on his availability?
Many things come to play. Perhaps we may even come to that later, but I think I must make it at this point in time. We have a problem of inadequate staff in our universities here in Cameroon. Sometimes when you go to the Faculty of Science, not even at level research students, you realize that you just have one lecturer in front of about more than 1,000 students in an amphitheater. And it already tells a story that effective work can't be done. Now, at the level of supervising, you realize that there are just so many students out there in the university who really wanted to pursue postgraduate studies, but they can't. Why? Simply because there is nobody who is ready to supervise them. It's very frustrating.
Or the people, the hands are full. You have
absolutely. Sometimes you can't. You can't even blame the lecturers because normally, say in universities abroad, a lecturer may just have about 4 or 5 students to supervise per year. But here in Cameroon, you find a supervisor with about 30 students.
Is that probably why some supervisors have tended to charge fees for supervising students?
Yes, indeed. There are certain controversies surrounding research and then defense and all that goes with research. And then finally your research is written, is defended, and you graduate. Some of the controversies indeed is that there is a lot of money circulating, changing hands from the students, between the students and the supervisor. Is that correct?
I've been hearing those stories, but from a personal, I like to talk about what I personally know, what I know. But as far as that's concerned, my supervisors never asked me anything like money. And,
maybe let me interrupt you a little.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Professor.
Yeah, but I understand Prof's problem. I know who he is. I know the type of person he is. I know the mold through which some of us went through together. I know, but I would like to think that Prof, in as much as you react and you are right, and I know why you are reacting the way you are doing, you are not everybody. In the other areas, people are not you and cannot be me. In other departments, probably not in your department, not even in your faculty, others do what you think they are not doing.
That's why he says if
they should be
accusations,
they should be given, names should be given.
And that's the best way of fighting.
That's the best way of fighting corruption, but then it's a little bit risky.
No, especially for Julius, who says he's in a movement. What did he call it? Vote holders or something? Vote sizing to fight corruption. They should be able to denounce some of those things publicly. Whatever the case, we shall be coming back after the news in French. Thank you so much, Uncle P. We have 4 minutes to go. This reaction. Evans, he says, is Evans M from the University of Boya. This is bad news in education. Instead, most supervisors spend money. How many students can buy chemicals for 4 million, for instance, or pay analysis abroad? That's for science students who are in research. And Ngamsom says some of the dissertations are written and simply given to the students to present. Some of them hardly ever do any research. It is unfortunate. And that's what we're talking about before we left the studio, because in as much as the students complain a lot, as Professor Forte said, it's lazy students who complain because they don't want to do the work, so they fall prey to all of the intricacies of maybe some lecturers and maybe other people who are in that chain of research. We know we've equally heard of professional writers of them. I'm sure that's what Ngam is saying. People who are just there to write memoirs for students. But now tell us, Hans, what is the way? What do you think some of these issues? How can they be handled?
Perhaps now. I think that as far as research is concerned, the government really has to put in so much in order to have well-equipped universities. And even at the level of the universities in Cameroon, you realize that we have just very few state universities in Cameroon. Like yesterday, I had an invitation to take part in an occasion at Jigawa Hotel Palace yesterday. And while the ambassador, the Ukrainian ambassador to Gabon, who also covers Cameroon, made us understand that in Ukraine, whose population is just like that of Cameroon, they have over 960 universities and institutions of higher learning. With us in Cameroon, we're not really counting up to 15. And I think that we badly need more universities so that the teacher-student ratio may be much more encouraging. And then at this point, even though it may not be very much, it has to do with research, but it has something to do with research. The way nominations are made at the level of university, I don't want to say that they have haphazardly done, but I want to think that merit should be the order of the day. Take, for instance, you have a situation wherein you have lecturers who just defended a PhD, and after just about 2 or 3 years of teaching, they have been appointed head of departments, deans, while you have all professors who are even the students, who taught the students, they are still marking them on the same spot. Just asking yourself, what academic, what administrative, or I don't know what political device have been used in order to appoint these guys? It's a problem. And this plays on the psychology of the teachers, especially those that merits are not given to them. And some of these things have been now transferred to students. And it happens that way. I think
it sounds as if universities, there's a lot of politicization. Academics has been politicized. Otherwise, how do you explain that kind of situation? Is it the appointments made on political basis?
In other countries, in West Africa, it is a university that decides who should even be rector of the university. It's a whole college that decides to
in some
say
places
this person is now qualified. They're elected
by their peers.
Yeah, absolutely.
As you say, if everything has to go by appointment, and if it is politicized, as Shifu says, then we'll find ourselves in situations where it's not.
And they will tell you that
academia.
They will tell you that appointment is discretionary. It depends on the person who is appointing.
And I think our university dons should know that they play the role. They are the salt or the light of the society. Right. And even if the world nowadays we see everybody is into praise singing politics, and I want to think that the role of the lecturer, the role of the university
should remain in the campus,
not in the campus, but be able to not only to boast of intellectual prowess, but also of morality. Is very important.
Thank you so much. Time for us to say goodbye on the program this morning. Join us tomorrow for another edition of Morning Safari. Have a nice day.